Hey, so I just got off the line with Stephen Harano. Stephen Harano is a technical analysis wizard. He's been trading for a few years now. He has some interesting things to say about trading and about how he manages risk in the space. And he goes into a little bit about Block Society. So check out Stephen Harano and check out Block Society. I have a link on the blog. Check him out.
Hey, Stephen. So how did you get into crypto trading?
So a long time ago, when I was in grad school, our we had a class project where you sign up on this website, and it is a real world trading game, if you will, for stock markets and whatnot. And the premise was that you're working off of real time trading, the real market, et cetera, but you're using fake money in a fake environment. And then, of course, the 10 top 10 players, if you will, got guaranteed interviews at some of the big hedge firms and corporations out on Wall Street and whatnot for a job interview.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of piqued my interest at that point. I was doing really well. I was actually in the top 10 for quite a period of time. And then I got disqualified on a technicality because I made this ridiculously awesome trade, but apparently it was a trade that isn't exactly legal in the real world. It worked in the game, but it didn't work in real life, so they DQ'd me on that one. But anyway, that sparked my interest into trading. Fast forward about a year and some change, and I downloaded another stock market game, if you will, on my phone just to play around and whatever. And I noticed that one of the categories that I was able to trade was cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
Had no idea what it was, never heard of it, didn't know anything, never even knew what Bitcoin was at that point. But I saw these ridiculously large jumps and swings, 500% profits, 12,000% profits here. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what sparked my interest into the crypto world. And then about a month later, I said, nah, why not? I'll go ahead and drop $100 into the crypto environment. That's when I first got my Coinbase account and Binance account and just started trading. And less than a month later, I was up an astronomical amount.
Yeah.
Like a noob and a complete idiot. I just along the way, and I rode the wave all the way back down, and it was pretty miserable. But I've definitely learned quite a bit along the way.
Yeah. So when did you start then? Like around
So
what
I
time?
started in September of last year.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And then, obviously had the massive bull run in December of last year and was up, 5 figures. I was up way up there.
Mm-hmm.
Come January, it all just started tanking and tanking and taking. And I didn't really believe in the project, but I believed in the returns and I was all about it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. We, our little fund that I started a couple of years ago, we did really well in just basically treating it like penny stocks.
Right.
2 years ago. And, you just buy 30 shit coins or 100 shit coins, and every time one pumps 500%, you just, sell out and put it into ETH or Bitcoin or whatever and keep it going. But, nice. So then how do you trade? You're primarily technical, I take it, right?
So I am, yeah. It started out as just, hey, this looks good, and the stock is way up, or the coin or project, whatever, is going up. I want to catch that train, and we call that FOMO. So that's not really a good way to trade. And a lot of hard lessons were learned. A lot of money was lost, but I eventually came to the point where I trade solely on technical analysis. I don't put any news into it. I don't put any emotion into it. I follow the numbers. I follow the charts. And regardless of what my gut says, if the chart doesn't say it, I'm not following it. And it's been very lucrative to this point.
Yeah. So, okay. And then can you kind of explain the difference between like watching charts as opposed to like fundamental?
Sure. So technical analysis revolves around charts. So it's a historical trend of price action as it relates to time. And as with everything in nature, there's always a mathematical sequence or pattern to just about everything. So the TA side of the house revolves entirely on those numbers. Fundamental analysis, on the other hand, is based upon your white papers, your teams, who's working on the project, whether or not they're following their roadmap, whether or not they stay on their timeline, and then any sort of news or FUD or anything of the sort. That's where your fundamental analysis comes into play. Sometimes that has a large effect on the charts. So we have to take that into consideration, and there's certain indicators and sequences that come into play on the charts. And, any analyst worth their salt should be able to identify that pretty quickly.
Yeah. So I take it trading, on a fundamental level, trading crypto is probably a lot different than trading traditional financial instruments.
Absolutely.
And then on a technical level, does that translate too, or are they similar because it's just charts?
So they're exponentially different in the terms of timeline, right? So
Yeah.
The stock market is only open from, weekdays, non-holiday weekdays from, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. or whatever it is, depending on wherever you live.
Right.
So the market, it goes to sleep. There's a little bit of off trading, over the counter market trading, et cetera. But cryptocurrency is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. It does not stop. 1 week in crypto is the equivalent of 2 or 3 months in regular stocks. So the charts are definitely, I'm not going to say abbreviated, but they are accelerated. So most technical analysts of the stock market, they're going to be watching the weekly patterns or the daily patterns, or their timescales rather. Whereas in the crypto world, we're looking, hourly, sometimes even 15 minutes, 5 minutes in some cases. And then of course we can zoom out to the daily or the weekly or even the monthly, to see the logarithmic scales and the overall trends and things of that nature.
So does that make it more, like your emotions are probably more heavily charged if it's that short of time periods, 15 minutes, like I feel like FOMO would kick in a lot more than if it's like, oh, I'm looking at a 2-week time horizon, and so I can go and think about this for an hour. I can think about this trade, right?
It's interesting you bring that up. My wife will be the first to tell you that I am a logical thinker as opposed to an emotional thinker.
Yeah.
I rarely, if ever, make a decision based on emotion. By trade, I've been in the military for 15 years now. I'm an intelligence analyst by trade. I work for one of those 3-letter agencies doing intelligence analysis. And I can't make a gut decision based off of raw emotion. If I don't have the data and the evidence that support the information or to support that decision, then I can't make that decision.
Yeah.
And that is definitely translated over well into the crypto market, because I'll see, a good 8 to 10% spike one day, and I'll be like, oh, I want to get in on that. I want to get in on that. And then all of a sudden it crashes by another 30%. So, you always keep your emotions in check. And I think I've been doing a pretty reasonable job at doing that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I get that. I have gotten beat on FOMO. I did a little bit of like trading about a year ago for personal stuff, and or I guess no, it was only 9 months ago. It was when this is embarrassing, but it was when Bitcoin Cash was announced on Coinbase, and it went up to like 7,200 or something, and I didn't lose hardly any money, but I should have cashed out when it got up halfway, when I doubled or tripled or in 2 minutes my money, but
Right.
anyways, I definitely understand that.
I did the same thing back in late December, early January with Tron and Ripple, and rode that wave all the way to its all-time high. And I took the wife out. I live in Colorado, and the wife and I ended up going to San Diego that weekend, the January 4th weekend, and just spent an astronomical amount of money off of that.
Oh, no.
And then I rode the rest of it all the way back down to nothing. So,
that's
I had
the
a
worst.
good show for it, but that was about it.
Yeah, dang. Gosh. Okay, so then how do you account for risk? I mean, because it seems like there is a lot of risk, and you got to figure out a systematic way of dealing with it, right? So how do you do that?
So there's a lot of different strategies, and a lot of them are brought over from the stock world, those securities and whatnot. You have anything from diversification of your portfolio to a 2% rule. So when you're trading, you never want to risk more than 2% of your entire portfolio on one single trade. There are literally countless amounts of different strategies that you can incorporate when you're trading. Some, in my personal opinion, I truly believe that doing technical analysis and being competent in technical analysis is a risk mitigator in and of itself.
Yeah.
So for me, if I can go through the chart and I can find not just one, but multiple indicators saying the same thing, then that's a pretty good risk mitigation for me that I'll go ahead and throw in my hard-earned money and see if I can reap a profit.
Yes. So I don't want to interject, but we built a couple of trading softwares over the past year, me and my partner David, and one of them is kind of this TA bot that looks at I think 30-ish indicators all at the same time, and it's pretty incredible. I was really worried that if it starts getting stuff wrong a lot, we're going to start losing a lot of money because we have no 2% rule or anything applied to it. It was just basically an experiment out of our mind. We were like, let's try this, see what happens. And the long-term graph for the past 6 months or however long it's been running has been awesome. And it looks like we've made thousands of trades. And so I'd assume 5 or 6 of them would go really wrong, and we'd lose a lot of money. And it basically hasn't happened where we've lost that much money or gained. Either way, it hasn't done it. It hasn't done. It's just kind of steadily gone up. We've gained a lot of
nothing wrong with that at all.
Exactly. Yeah, we're pretty excited about it actually because we never thought that it would do something like this. But
so here's some good statistics for you. There was a recent study that came out in June of this year where a reputable analysis corporation, non-biased analysis corporation, did a study on the top 268 technical analysts on Wall Street. We're talking hedge fund guys, Fortune 50 guys, people that are running massive firms, etc. And the guys that literally make billions of dollars a year for their clients.
Right.
And the average across 11 years for those 268 analysts was 44.6%.
Holy moly.
Their accuracy was 44.6%, with the number one guy, who is quite literally a billionaire himself, his accuracy rating is at 68.2%.
Wow.
Right? So anything above 50% gives you an unbelievable advantage. To see an accuracy rating of 70%, you may as well just take it to the bank. That's huge, right? So with your software, your trading bot, if you're seeing a weekly rise of anywhere between 9 and 13%, you're ahead of the curve. You're above the curve.
Yeah.
If you can hit that 15%, you're already in the top 1% of of returns across the world.
Yeah.
So don't take that lightly.
Yeah, no, I'll show it to you sometime. We're not going to sell it, unfortunately, but yeah, or fortunately, really.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so then, kind of just wrapping things up. What are you working on, and can you tell us a little bit about your projects?
Sure. So I'm currently co-owning a company called Block Society LLC. We are a business based out of Long Beach, California that it'll be a subscription-based service that focuses on providing technical analysis, relevant news, good articles, etc. We are offering trading tips and tricks, certain strategies. We are even going so far as to offering lessons in technical analysis, actually teaching not just the fundamentals, but hey, this is what this pattern means. This is how you can incorporate these indicators together.
Right.
And it's pretty well structured. We are still in the development stage. We have, all our bases covered. We have some proprietary technology that we're in the process of getting patented. It should bring a decentralized solution to the decentralized world. I can't talk too much about it, but for a prime example, there's competitors out there that offer very similar services to what we're offering, but they publish their news articles and they publish what they say is relevant. They'll go out and they'll find an article on ccn.com or whatever, and they'll post it and say, hey, look, this is good information that you guys should heed. And oh, by the way, this is my financial advice to you, because if you follow that, whatever. But who's to say that that article is even relevant? Who is the governing authority as to what is good news and what's fake news, if you will?
Yeah.
Right. So one of the solutions that we bring to the table is it'll be a consensus-driven approach to what is relevant and what isn't. Right. I'm not going to get into specifics on how that actually works until we get the patent going through, but you can get the gist of the idea. So eventually, we hope to be a very wide organization that will cover all aspects of trading in the cryptocurrency environment. Our slogan is integrity through transparency in the blockchain environment, right? So that's what we're all about. We're not going to say that we're the best analysts in the world. We're not going to say that we have the best technical analysts in the world. But you'll know what you're getting because we're going to, provide you all of the facets to make your own decisions, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, not to toot your horn, but there was a time maybe like 3 weeks ago when you made a call in the private Facebook group, Block Society. You made a VeChain call and you got it wrong, and you said the next day you came out and were like, yeah, I got this wrong. Look, here's why I got it wrong. Here's what I did wrong. Nobody does that in the space, and it's really cool, and it's a really good omen for it bodes well for your company, basically, I think.
Well, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do analysis on a regular basis. I sure call it bragging if you want. I'm pretty good at it. I have a general understanding, especially on certain projects, of how the market is going to react. And I try to be as accurate as possible. But when I'm wrong, I have no problems, rogering up and saying, oh, crap, I made a bad decision. I apologize. Hopefully you didn't lose your money. In that particular instance, I do recall what you're talking about. I made the wrong call, but it still garnered like 17% returns for some of them. So I had predicted a significantly larger return. But they were still getting 17% when I had predicted something, I think like 33 or something along those lines. So it's not like, my customers or my clientele or whatever are losing money out of it. I just didn't quite reach that target. But lessons learned, I always learn from my mistakes and always try to incorporate those lessons learned moving forward. So I, try not to make that mistake again.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was just really cool to see. You don't ever see that. I mean, crypto, it seems like, not to bash on crypto, especially crypto traders too much, but it seems like crypto traders all just toot their horn all day, and that's all they do.
Everybody, it's simple marketing, really. I mean,
exactly, yeah.
You're always willing to boast about your successes and never want to talk about your failures. But there's an old saying around my community where our failures are known, our successes are not. So I try to be that silent warrior and just, if you guys can make money off of my predictions, cool. That's all I'm about. I'm not here to become a quadrillionaire or anything or be the next, big name in crypto. I just want to make sure that everybody else has a fair advantage. And I think that's something that I can bring to the table for everybody and, help them understand how the market is reacting so that they can make better educated and well-informed decisions on where they're investing their money.
Yeah. So then where can people find you?
So, as a matter of fact, just before we go live on our website, we are going to offer a free trial, if you will, to our Block Society members. So if you want to submit a friend request like the page, search on Facebook for Block Society. I have no problems adding anybody. We've got nothing to hide. At some point, I'll throw out a feeler asking for volunteers to help beta test our product. And then those that are beta testing will get a significant discount once we go live to the public. Once we go live to the public, it should be pretty simple. Go to the website. It'll be a subscription-based service. We have a gold membership and a VIP membership. The VIP membership will offer everything from, my analysis and analysis of others, and in addition to trading fundamentals and techniques, even noobs, people that are not in crypto at all. We have tutorials built to walk you through the process of how to set up an account on an exchange and how to set up cold wallets and, how to execute trades and what those trades actually mean, the difference between market orders and limit orders and stop sells and, all that jazz, how to read, what is a candle, what are the candle wicks, how to identify certain things. And then, once you graduate from that, you can move on to our technical analysis school, if you will. And from there, we'll have, for the VIP members, we're also going to offer a push notification. So if I see something in a project, if I see an indicator in a project that it's going to make a big move, we can send out a text message or an email alert to our VIP base saying, hey, this indication popped up. You should probably do X, Y, or Z.
Right. That's sweet. Yeah, I like that a lot. Crypto never sleeps, man.
Right? Yeah, and it's already been taxing.
Yeah.
A lot of late nights, a lot of coding, a lot of background stuff. I'm super proud of my team. They've been working really, really hard. As the owner and founder is Jeremy Horton, and he's been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Hasn't really posted much on social media or even in our Block Society group. The occasional news report here and there when he's searching around. But he's doing a lot of great things on the back end, as far as the legal aspects and filing paperwork and making sure that we're getting certified. Caveat there is we aim to be one of the, if not the only, company into cryptocurrency that is SEC and FINRA authorized as a certified financial planner or financial advisor. So we're in the process of getting Series 65 certified. And then, of course, we're going to be RIAs and IARs in the future. So,
dude, that's awesome. Nice.
A lot of really good things coming.
Yeah, that's really cool. Sweet. All right. So people can follow you at Block Society. Cool. Well, thank you for talking today, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Absolutely. It's great having me. Thanks. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening. Stephen and I enjoyed sitting down and chatting. I hope you guys did also and learned something new about technical analysis and trading. Go and check out coinage.fund. We have a free month trial for all of our new subscribers, so check it out at coinage.fund, COINAGE.fund, and have a nice day. I know I will in rainy Seattle.